I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Rome Pre-Owned Sales, located at 949 Floyd Avenue in Rome. If you're in the market for a quality pre-owned vehicle and great customer service, make sure you check them out. A special thank you to General Manager Anthony Mariani for his support of the Rockpile Sports Network and local sports here in the Mohawk Valley. Your sponsorship truly helps us continue to highlight our athletes, coaches, and teams. If you or your business are interested in sponsoring the Rockpile Sports Network, feel free to reach out to me directly at coachkorg23@gmail.com. Let's welcome everybody to the Mohawk Valley Sports Watch here on Sunday morning. Welcome, everybody, to the Mohawk Valley Sports Watch. Thanks for making us part of your Sunday morning. I'm your host, as always, the Coach Rocky Crigliano, Coach Little C. Got a great show for you lined up today. I'm going to talk about one of the fastest growing sports, I think, in the area, and I probably over New York State. And we're going to talk RFA boys and girls lacrosse. We'll talk to RFA head coach PJ Herron in just a little bit, followed by the girls head coach here in Rome, Coach Meghan Pokines. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming season, expectations, and much more with both of them. So I'm excited to talk. I joined my wife and I joined the lacrosse family, I guess you could say. My son decided to play lacrosse this year, which is the first time he's ever played it. And he came home and he said, "Dad, I absolutely love it." So I got to thank both my neighbors. My neighbor to the left, Coach Acco, is the head modified coach, boys coach in Rome. And on the girls varsity with Coach Pokines. Her daughter and my daughter play soccer together. I think I got to thank probably both of them. As I'm surrounded by lacrosse coaches over here, so I'm new to it. I'm still learning it, but I'm sure that I'll pick it up here within no time. So we'll talk to them here this morning, and then March Madness. We got two teams in the Final Four. We got two more games today, but last night Arizona and Tommy Lloyd, former Gonzaga assistant, punches their ticket with an impressive second half to beat Purdue 79-64. And then the second game, to another impressive half here, the Fighting Illini and Coach Brad Underwood, they win 71-59 against Coach McCollum in Iowa. Both these teams, Arizona and Illinois, played a really good second half to punch their tickets to the Final Four. On the women's side, Texas beat Kentucky 74-54. Top-seeded South Carolina beat Oklahoma 94-68. Two-seeded Michigan beats Louisville 71-52. First time, I think, in the school history that both Michigan girls and boys were in the Sweet 16. TCU beats Virginia 79-69. On the girls' side, there'll be some games today. Top-seeded UConn, who's 37-0. I think it's them against the field. I don't think there's anybody that can beat them. I think UCLA is probably the closest that can give them a game. But if you're gonna beat UConn, you got to shoot the basketball extremely well. I just don't see it happening. They play today against Notre Dame, who they beat earlier in the year by 40. And then we'll have Duke against top-seeded UCLA. Those games are today. On the men's side, two more tickets will be punched, and then by the end of the day today, we will have the men's Final Four will be set. So the first game today at 2:15 will be top-seeded Michigan. They will play Tennessee. About the job that Rick Barnes continues to do in college basketball. He's got 6-seeded Tennessee. They play hard-nosed defense. They get after you. They get after you on the glass. I think they're going to give Michigan all they can handle today. I think this could be a better game than what people think. Michigan's a 7.5-point favorite. And then the nightcap at 5:05. This is probably, I think, going to be the best game of the day. UConn against Duke. Duke 35-2, UConn 32-5, but UConn playing extremely well. Hard nose. That game against Michigan State did not disappoint at all. And I think it's been a pretty good tournament. I know a lot of people have said the Cinderellas are out. You know, Texas was an 11 seed. Iowa was a 9 seed. You got Tennessee, a 6 seed. I don't think those teams really are Cinderellas. Those are still big-name programs. I think the Cinderellas, to me, are still like the Loyola Chicago, the Miami of Ohio's. the Davidsons, the VCUs. Like I think those are the Cinderella stories. I think it's been a good tournament. Do I think it's been a great tournament? No, but if you go back and you look at some of the ratings have been really good. I think they said the ratings for this tournament have been better than the last 2 years. So I don't think that the tournament has went downhill. I don't think they should expand it to, would they say, like 80 something teams, 82 teams. I don't think we should do that. I think it would get like some of the football where you have the top seeds against, the 16th seed and it's 56 nothing or 56-6. Like nobody wants to see those type of games. We haven't seen really a lot of buzzer beaters. We've seen a few. I think they've been some really close games, which has been good. I think there's been some good stories, some good storylines, which I think is great. I'm not a big Illinois guy. I'm not a big Brad Underwood guy. I did watch his interview last night of how much it meant to him and his career over the last 20 something years, how he got started in coaching. So I'm happy for him. I think his story is a great story. I think Ben McCollum at Iowa is a great story, who I think is up for the North Carolina job. Um, so I think those are really good stories. The teams that are left, I don't think John Shire gets enough credit because he's at Duke and nobody likes Duke unless you're a Duke fan. Duke's always been that team with Coach K that everybody hated Duke. You can't overlook the job that John Shire's done since he's been at Duke because you could probably say this. And again, I'm not a Duke fan, and I'm sure there's college hoop fans out there that are listening here this morning or on the playback, is he's probably done, I think he's won more games in his time in so many years than Coach K did. He's still getting good recruiting classes. Now, some will argue and some will say this. Coach K still has some say, not with Shire in recruiting, in helping with recruiting. I still think he's got an office um, at Cameron upstairs, they said. So I'm sure that his name alone, which is never going to go away, right? I'm sure it helps, but I don't think John Shire gets enough credit. I think his team can win it all. And then go over to Dusty May at Michigan, who I picked Michigan to win it all, is, his name's being rumored for the North Carolina job. And I'm a Michigan guy in football. I root for Michigan in basketball. Everybody knows I'm a Gonzaga fan in basketball. But I'll say this: I think those guys that are at schools that are predominantly football schools, like this one at Michigan, I think he's got to take a look at the North Carolina job. North Carolina is not a football school; they're a basketball school. So to go somewhere where you're the program, I think these guys got to take a look at it. I think that Nate Oates at Alabama, I think Nate Oates has to take a look at it. He's at a football school. There's no way around it. I know he wants to be the guy to win the first national championship at Alabama. He's done a fantastic job. He's been to a Final Four. I would seriously look at it. And I think it's the same with Dusty May. He's at a football school. It will always be a football school. Whether he wins a national championship this year or not, I think it's a great fit. I think you at least have to entertain the idea in the fact that North Carolina basketball is a basketball school. But let's not talk any more basketball because we got Coach Herron in the waiting room. We're going to bring him on. We're going to talk some lacrosse. He's going to educate me here for a little bit because I know absolutely nothing about it. But as I said, now I have both my kids that are getting involved. So I gotta make sure I pay attention here this morning with Coach. Coach, what's going on this morning?
Hi, morning. Thanks for having me on.
You are more than welcome. I was just telling the crew here that my son's been a baseball kid his whole life. And I say his whole life. He's only an eighth grader. And I'm going to thank my neighbor, Akko, who helped me coach football, recruit half my football guys, which listen, I'm okay with. My son came home the first night of practice and said, Dad, I made the best decision. He could not be any happier to play lacrosse. He absolutely loves it. So now I got to learn it. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have you on this morning, Coach.
I appreciate it. I'm excited to be on, and yeah, thanks for having me. And that's what Akko does best. He recruits those kids, gets them from baseball, and gets them to play lacrosse. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's good. He does a great job with that. So, Coach, first, I want to ask you about your journey from, you played at West Jenny, played some in college. How has that experience for you, your journey, helped you shape you as a coach?
Well, I played lacrosse my whole life. I grew up being a goalie. My brothers both played lacrosse. They're 12 and 13 years older than me. So I've been, grew up with a stick in my hand since I was probably 2 years old. And they stuck me in a goal, started shooting on me. I ended up loving being goalie. So I played goalie for most of my life, but I was also that goalie that would run out and try to score as much as possible and would do as much as I can. Then I focused on hockey. That became the love of my life. And then I picked lacrosse back up when I went to college. And then I decided, I'm like, you know what, goalie is a little too intense to pick that back up in college. And so I went to attack and midfield at MCC. And then when I transferred to Brockport, I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick up a pole just because I want to see it. And ended up playing LSM and close D over at Brockport. So I've had quite the experience at every position in lacrosse. So my expertise is like coaching every single position, knowing how to coach everything from the team aspect to the individual player itself.
Yeah, and I was just saying this not too long ago, but I think on the lacrosse side, both boys and girls, you guys have some great coaches from the bottom levels all the way up with a lot of lacrosse experience, which I think that's hard to find locally in the area. But both coaching staffs from the ground up in your program are solid.
Yeah, Akko's he's been there for, I don't know how long. I mean, it's, gosh, maybe almost like 20 years, it seems like, or close to it. But he's been doing such a great job of getting these younger kids, the 8th grade, 7th and 8th graders involved and in loving the sport themselves. And then this year, like we got Ricky Fernandez helping out with the JV, his second year doing it, lacrosse, but he's a student of the game in a way too. He's, as every good coach is that they learn the game very quickly. And Ricky's done that, and he's a great motivator. The kids love him. So he's a great guy to have on JV. And then we brought over Medicis for my assistant coach this year. And like, I'm blown away with him because, I mean, him and I worked with the girls team 2 years ago. I helped out when I was the JV coach, or 3 years ago. And then I helped out with the goalies. So him and I got along really good. And that's why I, kind of coerced him to come over to the boys side. I'm like, hey man, it's the defense is exactly the same as basketball. You can get this very quickly. And he picked it up like that. And he's been such a great help for me right now.
So, Coach, from a culture standpoint, what were some of the first few things you wanted to establish culturally here when you took this program over?
My biggest thing is being disciplined, self-discipline and us being on top of them, stop being lazy, get down, use two hands for ground balls, the little things right there. I preach the little things in lacrosse because, I mean, just like in life, the little things make the big things happen. So if you take care of all the little things in lacrosse and be disciplined and two hands on a ground ball, boxing out, playing man and body, and defensively staying topside, offensively moving off ball and keeping the movement going. Those little things right there is what I really preach, because eventually, the big things just fall into place once you take care of all those little things.
And Coach, you guys got some key players that are actually returning for you guys this year. Well, I want to start with Luke Hammond first. Obviously great basketball player too, good athlete. But talk to us about some of the players returning on this team who we will be looking forward to hearing their names throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, Luke is going to be our go-to guy. He's a big boy. He's a beast out there on the field. He's hard to stop. And teams are going to be keying in on him a lot. So the other guys got to really step up. And, thankfully, I think we got a good supporting cast around him offensively, with Aaron Coleman coming back, being a great midfield leader. Mark Verano also is going to be someone that, is going to probably get some, LSM guys like looking at him, trying to D him up, him and Aaron. But then we got some young guys coming back, like Dylan Segrist. He's still working hard to get his game better. every day, and he's developing, and he's going to be someone that's going to be like, the other teams are going to try to focus in on. Maddox Egan, he's going to be he's a 10th grader. He's coming up. He's doing a good job. Him and Johnny Barone. They're going to be two studs when they're seniors too. And then defensively, we brought some guys back. We got some new guys coming in, like Jacob Bruno came from hockey, and first year coming back, and who knows how long it's been, but he's picked it up so quickly, and he's already an asset on our defense. Same with Landon Sully, AJ Fiorini, and then Steve Mudry also. We moved him to defense this year. And what a great decision that was, because he's been such a great leader on the defense already for just picking it up within 2 weeks. So right now, and then with Carson Pettinelli as our goalie, he's a good leader. He's starting to realize how to respect the game of lacrosse. And that's something me as a goalie growing up my whole life that I teach goalies is you need to respect this game. You're going to get scored on. It's going to happen, but move on, stay positive, and keep the defense talking.
And Coach, what do you want to see from this program as you get started this year? Not just for this year, but like expectations for you, some key things to focus on to move this program forward, over the long haul.
Well, for this season, I just want to keep seeing progression. I just want to see them progress throughout the year, and keep getting better and keep working together and just see what we can do. I have no expectations on the year and the season at all. So it's just, it is what it is. But for the future, my goal, the plan is to try to reach to the kids that we cannot reach in lacrosse, the athletes that, lacrosse is an expensive sport. I mean, a stick is like $200 if that's like a cheap end stick. But like everything is very expensive. It's hard to afford. So trying to reach out to the kids, to the athletes that we need to get in the Rome community, that's my goal for the future, for the upcoming summers and stuff like that. Trying to get 5th and 6th graders involved that don't have rides or something like that. But yeah, that's my push for the future, is trying to get more things local in the community, on the turf or in one of the parks that are around Rome that it's easily accessible for a lot of kids to get to on a bike or something like that. Because the limited opportunities around here, doesn't reach to our athletes as much as we can. And so that's my goal for the next few years, to hopefully reach out to the community and see if I can push this game to kids that couldn't afford it or can't, afford rides to it or something like that. And
Well, I know that, like I said, being a baseball guy in a baseball family, I mean, I thought buying a glove and a bat, were expensive. So this year I go, I'm on Dick's. Coach Acco sent me all these sites, and I'm like, well, $300 for this, $200 for that, $150 for that. I'm like, I told my son, I said, man, you better be all in, because it's not a cheap sport. But
no,
like I said,
it is not.
He's excited. So, so Coach, you do have a lot of talent that's returning, as you mentioned. So in year one, what would be realistic expectations for this year?
I don't know. My expectations is just, my main expectation is to progress every game, to do better than we did the day before, practice wise or game wise. That's my real expectation. Because I had no clue what to expect on our game Friday night. The boys kind of blew me away. They played together. They were disciplined with every aspect of the game, and I was very proud of them. So that's all I can hope for, is just to keep progressing. But I would love to go, I'd love to get above 500. That's the kind of the goal for winning percentage. But overall, I'm not one to push on wins and losses. I'm more of like, how are you as a human being? That's what I want these boys to become, as great community members more than anything. So that's more big key for
Yeah,
me.
and for the people listening live or on the playback, coaches taught they opened up against Jordan Elbridge, and coach, it was what 13-5 that I see.
13-7.
13-7. Okay, so what's the schedule this week? Are you guys home at all?
No, we're not. We are at Central Square on Wednesday, both JV and us, and then our first home game will be on the 9th, April 9th, during spring break against Proctor.
And coach, I say this about all the RFA sports, but I think the community is so invested in the sports here in Rome, and I'd love to see more fans come out and support you guys and in the girls programs. But what message would you have for some of the fans and the community members that watch this show about lacrosse in general here heading forward into this year and beyond for you?
This is an awesome game. Something I grew up my whole life. It's one of the fastest games. It's very popular. It's growing so much, just like the other sport I coach, volleyball. It's growing so much. But lacrosse has been on that growth. It's getting popular. It's an easy. I don't want to say it's an easy way. It's a tough way, but it's a fun way to get into college, to help kids, especially girls' side and boys' side. Just that little extra little thing to help you get into college. It's something that people look at, but this game is just it's so much fun. It's fast paced. It's creative. It's tough. It's a great combination of everything.
Well, I've been watching, I won't tell my son this. I've been watching YouTube videos on lacrosse so I can try to learn some of it. So I'm watching the games and watching you guys. I know what the hell's going on, but because I always tell them it's the only sport I can't coach. I coach football and basketball, but it's the only sport I can't coach. But it's been fun to watch so far. I can tell you that.
Hey, you never know with coaching. I mean, basketball and lacrosse defensively, it's the exact same concept. Take away the inside game and give them the outside, force them down the alley sides, and take, just it's pretty much the same. I think you'd get it.
Well, I'm definitely excited, and coach, hopefully I get a chance to meet you in person. I'm a Rome guy, so I know all the Rome coaches and I follow all the Rome sports. Hopefully I get a chance to meet you in person. Love to have you on again.
Yeah, thank you, Rock. I appreciate it. Hey, just a little inside tip. laxsteels.com. They got deals every day on different like sticks, apparel, whatever, anything, any gear that you need for lacrosse.
Okay, I wrote it down. I just took some notes. I'm good. All right, coach. Well,
There you
listen,
go.
best of luck to you. I'll see you on the field.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You got it. So that was Coach PJ Herron of Rome, and I'm excited. I haven't met him. I've heard good things about him. But like I told him, I'm surrounded on both ends of my house by lacrosse coaches. So I feel like my kids don't have much of a choice. But as I said, my son absolutely loves it, and I think my daughter's going to get started as well. So I think we got Coach Meghan in the weight room. I can't keep her waiting anymore. There she is. What's going on, Coach?
Hi, how are you?
What's happening this morning?
Not much, just was pushing my family out the door.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yep.
I was telling Coach PJ there, I said, lacrosse is like the only sport. I have no clue anything. I've been watching like YouTube videos on strategies and this and that. It is absolutely crazy. It's a lot like basketball now that I think about it, though, as he was saying.
It is a lot like I'll be honest, I never played basketball, but from what I hear, it is a lot like basketball. Yes. It's just a great sport. It's so fun. I actually was driving home the other day and I saw Aiden and Madison out there playing catch.
Yeah, that's what they want to do now. They don't shoot hoops much. They want to throw the lacrosse ball around. So like, all right, whatever, go ahead at it. All right, let's dive into this thing. So last year, you guys are coming off a 500 season. I think you guys were 8-8 last season. You guys were 6-2, I think, in the TVL league. So I want to start with that first. How would you evaluate last year, and what do you take away from last season heading into this season?
Last season, we had such a strong team last year, but Rome has been notoriously strong in women's lacrosse in the TVL, and everyone is kind of out to beat Rome. So we have to expect every single TVL game we play, they're going to bring their very best game, and we can't bring anything less than ours. And, we got caught up a couple times. The New Hartford game that we lost, that was tricky. We got we had a storm, and I actually called lightning. I saw lightning with about 10 seconds left in the second quarter, right before halftime. If those 10 seconds had lapsed, we would have lost the game. So I saw it. We were down by, I think, 1 or 2. We had to go back. We ended up losing that game by 1. And then they ended up coming here. We beat them here. It was a really great game. I think we won by 1. And then Whitesboro, we played them on their senior night, and they were ready for us. And we were, we didn't have our best game that day. So, I try to tell the girls all the time, we are the team to beat in the TVL. We are the team that every team just kind of wants to get out there and win against. And we have to be prepared for that. Every single TVL game, every other game we play, non-league, out of section, those games prepare us for the TVL. I tell them we use those games as practices to get ready for the New Hartford, the Clinton, the Whitesboro, the VVS, because those are the teams that, they matter. We want that TVL league win title again. So.
Yeah, and I was looking at that, and you bring me my next question is, your non-conference schedule last year was really tough. I mean, you played some really good teams non-conference, and how much does that help you get ready for league play and beyond?
Well, so I joke, Syracuse lacrosse is a different breed. And we are, well, however you want to look at it, fortunate or unfortunate that we play those teams. That is really our only option. I mean, we're playing against these Syracuse teams that are not only top teams in the state, but in the country. They're ridiculous. You have CNS. I think we played them in sectionals 2 years ago, and just the girl that handed off the stick on the sideline, I think, was committed to UNC. It's a hotbed for lacrosse. And, there's nothing like Syracuse lacrosse. So we actually scrimmaged ESM the other day, and I told the girls, this is going to be Syracuse lacrosse. Tough defense, hard defense. They're going to body you up. Refs aren't going to call as much as they call here in the TVL. And they were like, okay, they understand it. So it almost gives us a little bit of an edge playing these Syracuse teams, because we are playing against some really, really good players, and it pushes us to be better. It teaches us to play a little bit stronger defense, tougher defense. It shows us that we can body up in the right way and not get called for it. It just prepares us as a whole. So.
And Coach, this year's team, it looks like you're loaded top heavy with seniors and I think a big junior class. So what's different about this group?
This group is fun. I have a lot of the same girls, but I mean, we laugh constantly all the time. They are just a funny group. They're a group that gets along. They enjoy each other. I enjoy them. I'm a teacher, a mom, I put on different hats every day. And when I take off my teaching hat, put on my coaching hat, and I'm kind of tired by 3:30, and I'm like, okay, I got practice now. And the minute I walk in there, I'm instantly like, okay, this is good, because they are just an amazing group of girls, talent-wise, personalities. They get along. They joke. We have fun at practice every day. We laugh. And for me, that is one of the most important things, is building relationships with your players. I mean, you can be the most knowledgeable person in the game that you're coaching, but if you don't have those personal relationships with your players, then they're not going to perform for you. Players want to feel valued. They want to feel that their coach understands them, that they have a relationship. And if it's not there, then you could have the most talented team, but they're not going to perform for you. So this group is a group that I feel that we have a great coaching player relationship, and we're having fun.
In a lot of sports, the coaches will say the team goes as some of the key seniors go and take this team. And you got a pretty good group of senior leadership. Talk to us about some of the senior leaders.
So I have Amelia Furbeck, who is dominant in the midfield. She's fantastic. She's a soccer player. She's going to college for soccer. We joke sometimes that she's like, oh, I wish every lacrosse season, she's like, I kind of wish I, focused a little bit more on lacrosse. But she's going to be super helpful. We have Brooke Agreshi, who is another amazing midfielder. She has so much talent. I tell her, when you're on, and you can't stop her when she's on. And she is going to be huge. I actually pulled them both aside at practice the other day after our scrimmage and just told them how impressed I was with the ability to go out there and lead the team. And, last year, and since I've been here, we've had the twins who were, Izzy and Fee. They were amazing, and they led for 2 years and scored our goals and assisted and ran that midfield. And Brooke and Amelia had no problem stepping up and filling their shoes, which is great. And they're big shoes to fill. But it's nice to see what they can do this year. Like, it's fun to watch them. I have Gabby Seeley, our goalie. She's also a senior. That one's going to hurt when she leaves. She is not only a solid goalie, but she is just a fantastic kid. Her and I spent a lot of time together because I warm her up every practice, and she's hilarious, and she has a great outlook on life and sports. She's going to college to play lacrosse. She's going to be a goalie in college. I'm really happy for her. But this is a really great group of seniors, and they're leaders. So
And how much have you seen that group, even your juniors this year? Because again, you have a lot of juniors on this team. Just their improvement over the last couple of years and seeing how much they've grown over the years.
So this junior class, not the seniors, but the junior class, I've actually had since modified. So it has been so much fun to coach them. I mean, I was just talking to one of the players the other day, and they're like, I don't think I've ever had a different coach, because I had them in 7th and 8th grade. And then when they got to 9th grade, I moved up to the varsity team. My junior class is huge. They are such a large part of the success of our program. They're hard workers. They're athlete minded. And I'll explain that a little bit, but they are a group of girls that understand sports. They understand what it means to be an athlete. They understand what it means to work hard, to know their role, to, work harder, to get more playing time, to get on the field, to not just, say, oh, I didn't have a very good game and walk away from it. They want to know what they can do to get better. They're a fantastic group, and without the seniors and them, it's a really good recipe. So I'm very excited for the season.
And does your approach change a little bit, having a more experienced team versus more of a younger team?
Yeah, my expectations, unfortunately for them. So actually, it was funny. I was telling my JV coach that helps me out during games sometimes. I'm like, oh, after our scrimmage, I'm like, they kind of showed me they could do it. I'm like, that's not good for them, because now I have these expectations, and I think they're going to be fine. But I'm finding myself, now that I've had this group for 3 years, and then those juniors since modified, I can just jump right into it. I don't have to sit there and explain, okay, this is how you ride. This is where you push. This is, stop chasing stick. This is a zone. When we double, things like I can kind of skip over those baby steps and get right into a game-like situations and drills, which I think is really helpful, and it gives us a bit of an advantage.
So you girls open up. Is it tomorrow against Fulton?
Yeah.
So
It is.
How's Fulton, and what's the expectations? What are you looking forward to seeing tomorrow?
So Fulton has always been a very strong team. I think they won their class maybe 4 years ago. We played them 3 years ago. We held them until halftime. We were only losing by 2 or 3. I do believe the year we played them, they had 3 girls committed to UAlbany. So very good. They have since lost those ones. And another girl, senior last year, she was pretty dominant. She's gone. So they have a couple girls on the team that are really strong right now. We watched some game film on them yesterday. They're going to be tough. Again, it's that Syracuse lacrosse, that tough play. I think it's a benefit that we'll have them here. But I think we'll be okay. I think that if we come and we show up and play the game that we know how to play, and run the midfield, and understand that the ball can move way faster than you can run the ball. So pass the ball and get it through transition quickly, and get it down on our offense and kind of waste some of that shot clock. I think we'll be okay. We just have to control the game.
And I was asking Coach PJ, I said a little bit about the numbers within the program for the boys, from the modified level up. How are the numbers for the girls?
They're good. Our modified right now is about 23, 24 girls trying out. JV is about 17, and I try not to keep more than 20. So I have 19 right now. I don't love keeping players that I don't like keeping players that I don't know I can't get into the game. In my just coaching opinion, players learn by playing. So if I need to be able to get them in, and I like having a group that I can say, okay, I know I can put you in the game for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, give this one a rest, give that one a rest, and get playing time. So they're pretty good numbers. Our youth program is huge. We have a lot of girls every summer. I run a summer clinic, and we have between maybe 50 and 75 girls show up between the ages of kindergarten and 6th grade.
That's great.
Yeah. That's been a great thing we've done now for a long time. And last year was actually really nice. We had girls come in from the surrounding TVL team areas on Mondays, and we played. it was just throw your pennies in, pick a penny, and we all kind of played against each other. But we had girls from New Hartford, Whitesboro, VVS, Clinton. They all came in. We played on Mondays, and then I did like a clinic type situation on Wednesdays. Sorry.
So what will success look for you this year? What will it look like at the end of the season? What would be considered a successful season for you?
Ooh. So this is probably a very unpopular opinion, but programs ebb and flow, right? You have super successful seasons. You might have a run where you have a team of ridiculously talented girls and you're at the top of your game and you're going to win and win and win for 3 years. And then, those seniors come in and you have a new group of girls that you kind of have to teach the game and we might be really strong for a couple of years and then, have to rebuild that for a couple of years. And so with the ebb and flow, my opinion always is the success of a program, of a team, of a season is what the girls come out with at the end. If they enjoy themselves, if they have fun. I love winning. Don't get me wrong. I played in college at a very competitive level. I played club at a competitive level out in Syracuse. I love to win. But winning is like the sprinkles on top. It's if the girls go out there and try their hardest and give it their all and they have fun and they enjoy themselves, to me, that's successful. And then of course, beating those TVL teams. I can't not. Oh, it is. They're going to be tough this year.
I think the girls are like the varsity. You guys have won the TVL for like what, 6, 7, 8 years in a row?
Yeah,
last year. Other than last year was the first losses you've had.
Yeah, we've had. It's been very strong, but just like those, when I played in Rome, there was no TVL. We played out in Syracuse. Shortly after I graduated, Whitesboro got a team, New Hartford got a team, Clinton got a team, and they were always not as strong as Rome because we've had a program for so long. And they've done a great job. Mike Tisak, Benny Shane, they've done a great job of building their program and they're getting stronger and they were strong for a long time. And then they kind of dipped back down and now they're definitely coming back up. New Hartford's going to be so good this year. They have a commit to Colgate right now. I think they have 2 seniors going Division I. They have a junior committed to go Division I. Clinton has Division I commits right now. I mean, it is the game of lacrosse is growing so much in this area. It makes me so happy. Yeah. So TVL is going to be, we're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And we're going to be able to compete with these Syracuse teams, I think, in the next few years.
It'll be fun to watch. It's like I said, I'm just kind of learning it myself. So I'm getting there slowly, but I'm getting there. So. Well, listen, hopefully we'll get a chance to see you. Madison, I know, wants to come watch some games, so I'll be sitting in the stands watching some lacrosse. So
it's a little different than the boys' game.
Yep, and we'll be over there too. So, but good luck to you this season, Coach. I appreciate you jumping on with me.
Oh, anytime, Rocky. Enjoy.
All right, we'll see you soon.
See you later.
Bye, Coach.
Bye.
So that was Coach Meghan Pokines, who, again, both. I don't know Coach Herron well. I know Meg's done a really good job on the girls' side, and like she said, and Coach PJ said, the numbers for RFA for both boys and girls for lacrosse have picked up tremendously over the last so many years. It's a fast-growing sport. It's nice to see, as you hear Meghan talk about, the TVL has gotten better. Same with the boys' side. The TVL has gotten a lot better. And the standard's always been Syracuse lacrosse. I mean, even when I was in Rome playing, not lacrosse, but growing up, it was always, if you were a lacrosse player, you came from West Jenny. So I think lacrosse in general, it's nice to see it picking up some steam, and I'll be sitting in the stands at the boys and girls games this year. So I want to make sure I do thank Coach Herron for coming on with me this morning, Coach Meghan for jumping on. Excited to follow both teams all season long. I wish them nothing but the best. And as always, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Mohawk Valley Sports Watch. I'll let you know about next weekend. My daughter's got a basketball tournament, but I believe it's a one-day event on Saturday, so I will make sure to let everybody know if we're going to be a go on Sunday. If not, I'll see if I can record something and play it. Make sure to go on my YouTube page, the Rockpile Sports Network. Subscribe to that. I'm doing the Wolverine Daily, so I appreciate everybody following me on that. So until next time, I'm Coach Little C, and this is the Mohawk Valley Sports Watch right here on the Rockpile Sports Network. Have a good weekend, everybody.